Sure, yeah. So I first started stuttering when I was 3. Um, I would get stuck on words. I would block, as we call it. And back then, what they did was they put me in speech therapy. I was in speech therapy in school. That was part of the special needs section of school, and I was in speech therapy up until 7th grade. So, and at that point, we moved towns, moved cities, and we just never signed me up for speech therapy past that point. So I always just classified myself as a stutterer and just concluded that that was going to be me my whole life. I was just a stutter. That's part of me. I remember standing in a coffee shop line. Lee, I've told you this story, knowing that, okay, Christmas time, I want to get the white chocolate peppermint mocha. Now that is a doozy word, even if you don't stutter. White chocolate.
That's right.
I'm in line, saying it, whispering it, being like, okay, I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna get this done. Get up there. I feel the block coming with that what, and I say, take a small coffee.
You don't know how common that story is of something
Oh yeah,
like that. Anyway, go
oh
ahead.
yeah, yeah. So I had read some books that were not super helpful, and then I had just joined Audible, and I looked up and thought, okay, wait, what if there's a stuttering book? And I had this thought, what if it's read by a guy who stuttered, and he could prove to me that he's not stuttering? I found your book, narrated by the author. I'm like, okay, wait, so if this guy can read me this whole book and he's not stuttering, clearly he's doing something right. So listen to your book as I drove and started to practice some of your methods right then. But then at the end, you give your email and say, please reach out. Please let me know where you're at in this journey. Let me know if this book helps. Let me know if it's not helping, but please reach out. So I sent you an email. This was, I think, March of 2016. So I
Yeah.
sent you that email, and you were back right away trying to set up a Skype call. And from that point on, coached me for free monthly. I think it was every other week. And then we moved back to monthly and we moved to quarterly. And now we just check in and try to stay in touch. But since that point, since I've been
How did your
practicing,
life change?
since I've been practicing your methods, um, I went from one who classifies myself as a stutterer to now I speak freely. I speak comfortably, like I am right now. Um, and like you've kind of started to allude to, my job is to speak. I'm a kids pastor. So when we first met, I was on a staff at a very large church, and my job was to speak. And I kept getting these jobs where my job was to stand on stage and speak. And if you're standing on stage speaking and you're going to stutter on the word Jesus, sure, it's not helpful.
No, it's not helpful.
Kids would yeah, yeah, I would block on
I'm
that.
sure Jesus understood, but
Right, right. But the kids would think that I just forgot his name. It would be bad. I would be like, and the kids would say, Jesus. Yes, that guy. Yes, Jesus. Him. So I knew that my dream was to be a pastor. But pastors, not only do they speak on stage, they lead leaders, and then they walk through really, really difficult, challenging moments with families. They're in funerals, they're in weddings, they're in hospital rooms. As people die, as people are born, I mean, they get to be in those life milestone moments.
exactly,
And if I'm going to be in the front row, on the front row of those life milestone moments, I need to be able to talk.
exactly.
I'm not going to be able to comfort a grieving mom if I can't get out her child's name.
Exactly.
So, from that point on, since I've started to practice your methods, um, I'm now living that dream. I speak fluently. I'm a kids pastor. Next week, I'm going to be on stage in front of 1,600 people. Every week now, I'm on stage in front of 200 kids and volunteers. I lead leaders. I send out videos every single week of me doing training and telling my volunteers what's going on in our kids ministry. And I get asked to speak at private schools as a guest speaker. All these things that I never dreamed of. And I'm teaching parenting classes. I'm doing all these things that involve speaking. And then as far as the shepherding thing goes, a couple weeks ago we had a child in the hospital. Wasn't sure if she was going to make it for a few days there, and I was able to be there, serve that family, serve that mom, serve that dad, pray with them, encourage them, send them little video messages. All of this involves speaking. I couldn't do most of this job, really any of this job, without speaking. And now I can. Now
Uh,
people don't even know that I
and
ever
tell
talked.
us about your family life. How did that change?
So I have known my wife since I was 15. So she knew my really, really bad stutter. She was 13 then, and then we got married about 10 years after that.
But
And
I remember when you were just starting to court her again, and you were so
yeah,
excited, and you were
yeah,
so concerned about your speech and so forth.
that's right. Yeah, she's seen the whole process of. She knew me back then. She knew when we were first starting to court again. She saw me fighting it. She saw me talking to you and starting to practice these methods. And then she heard me be able to read my vows without any stuttering when we got
Great.
married in 2018.
Well, listen, I know you've got to run. So, is there anything you want to say, just imparting to anyone who might listen to this thing? Any message you want to give them?
All I'll say is the only way that this stuff works is if you practice it. If you just read that book and say, that's good stuff and move on, it's not going to help you. Or if you just fight it and don't even try it, that's not going to help you. Try it, practice it, practice it for months and just watch your life change, watch your speech change. These people are the real deal. Trust it, trust these methods.